morning. Welcome back to another edition of Brain and Replay. My name is Greg Norman, your host. I think we've got a really good show for you this week. We check in with the cross-country team, Brain soccer team, Blackhawk tennis team, talk a few of the athletes about their season so far and exactly how things are going. And we check in with Brad Zuby, the Brandon High School football coach, who came off a 28-7 victory over Owasso this past week, put the record at 5-0. The Blackhawks head to Goodrich, just down the street, this coming Friday night for a big clash in the Metro League. One that I think will be setting up for possibly the league championship. But certainly it's one of the better games of the season, and maybe the first real test for this very stingy defensive Blackhawk unit. We look forward to talking with Brad and all that comes with that, and we'll be back in a couple of seconds.
Welcome back to week 5, going into week 6 of the Brandon Replay. My name is Greg Norman. We're lucky enough to have with us again. We really appreciate every week when Brad Zuby, Brandon's high school coach, joins us to talk a little bit about football and all that is Blackhawk Nation. 5-0, 28-7 victory over Owasso. We're going to get into that big game coming against Goodrich this coming Friday. But let's talk a little bit about I was really surprised with the score, 28-7. Talk a little bit about the game, because I think the score does not indicate what was played.
It was a much closer game than we were expecting. Credit to Owasso; those kids showed up and fought. And I think one of the things we talk to our team a lot about is we've as we've mentioned in the past, we put up some numbers against some teams over the years here, and we've gotten to the point in our league where I think we're the hunted team now versus being the hunters. And I think trying to get through to our kids that we're going to get everybody's best game. And Owasso gave us a great game, and they run a very muddled up full house ball control offense. And they are very content to go, 3 to 4 to 7 yards at a time. And they had a couple of long drives, which just limited our possessions. And it was a close game, a little bit longer than we would have liked. Drew Hickmott had a couple of big, he had an interception return to get it to 21-7, then caught a fade to get it to 28-7. So Drew was a big part of what we were doing. But credit to Owasso for fighting with us and limited our possessions. And, we've talked about too, we are playing with a freshman quarterback, and we were trying to get him into a little bit of rhythm early. And, we wanted to put him into some situations to see how he would do. And he did fine, but, there's still a learning curve there and still some things that, we probably could have moved the chains with a little bit easier, that instead of trying to put Lance into a little bit of a flex situation there. But he did fine. And as the game went on, we got more comfortable and we went back and forth with a couple different packages. And, we'll take the win. 28-7 is fine. You can't win them all by 50 points. And like I said, hats off to Owasso, and schedule's about to get a lot tougher right now.
Okay, for the armchair quarterbacks that watch this, and everybody's got an idea that they can call plays and they can coach.
Sure.
When you put a kid in a situation, you put your quarterback, a freshman quarterback, in a situation, are you referring to the kind of plays you're running, down and distance, you're running a particular play, and you're going to stay? Well, let me finish. Are you going to stay on the script regardless of what the game is, and that's why you're trying to give them the experience?
Yeah, we felt comfortable with some of the things we wanted to throw at him and put on his plate, and we wanted to see how he would do it. And, there was a couple of plays that we called that, just had him pushing the ball downfield a little bit. And, incomplete pass, underthrown a little bit here or there, not a big deal. But, maybe put us into a second, third and long situation instead of, we're usually in, second and threes a lot. So just some stuff like that where we wanted to see how he could handle it. He did fine. So
scripted.
Yeah, just some stuff we wanted to see him pull off for sure. Yep.
All right. So let's the other question in that same vernacular. You're the hunted when you were the hunter. Coaches have a conversation every day or before the season starts. What is it that's different between being one who's pursuing and one being pursued?
Yeah, I think we've lost one game in this league since it's been formatted this way now. When they split the Metro in half, we've lost one game total so far since this league's been shifted the way it is, in our division. So, I think the first year or so, you're kind of feeling each other out a little bit. And now it's to the point where I think we kind of, it's been us and Goodrich at the top, and it's been Lake Fenton and Corunna fighting and clawing to bang with us a little bit. And it's been Owasso and Clio trying to emerge and become players. But, it's one of those things where we're not taking anybody by surprise, and kids in our league want to have it, want to give us their best shot and take a shot at us, and that's how we felt. That's how we felt when the league was intact with 12 teams, and we were trying to catch up to Fenton and things like that. So I think we've become that hunted team a little bit, and our kids have to prepare for that.
Well, my question is, are there tangible anecdotes, paradigms, coaching ideas that actually go into a practice? Is that something?
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so. But I think I don't think necessarily something that goes into a practice. But I think it was a wake up call for our boys. We beat Owasso 70-0 a year ago, and I think that one lesson that our boys are starting to understand is that the kids that were on that team have graduated and they're gone and they're off to school and they're living their lives. And this is a different team. And every year presents a new team and a new dynamic and a new challenge. And these guys are starting to feel their way through that a little bit. So I think it was a little bit of a wake up call for them to understand that, teams are going to give us their best shot.
I asked the question because if you look at this, I'll use the collegiate example. If you're a Spartan, there's always that chip on the shoulder. That's the sort of general consensus, but you're always in the shadow of the boys in Ann Arbor. And It doesn't matter the sport. And it's always, you always have to play up. You can beat them and you're still, you got lucky. So you have a lifetime of that. So there's a sort of a culture that develops.
Sure.
And I think developing a winning culture is no different than anything else. So I think it's all relative. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it makes sense. And for us, being the way the Metro is split into two divisions now, we can be successful on our side of things, but always have the division champs from the upper division, waiting for you when and if you punch your ticket to that league title game that's turning into a race right now. So,
is the freshman ready? We're going to have him into the show a little bit later. We had an interview with Tim Griffin. Had a conversation with him today. A freshman is never ready to play a good Brandon championship when you guys only got one loss between you. But is he serviceable? And I'm not disparaging him. I'm just you're asking a lot of a 14 or 15-year-old young man.
Yeah, we're asking a ton on him. I had a year at Stony Creek. My last year at Stony Creek, we started a freshman quarterback in the OAA Red, and that was tough. And he ended up playing college football at Wayne State. But it's one of those things where you really have to just work him. And Coach Schultz, our offensive coordinator, we've been trying to just give him pieces, weekly at a time to digest a little bit. And then Micah's been helping him out a lot while he's, laid up with the elbow just in his ear a little bit and coaching him through. And we're trying to get him as comfortable as he can be with certain aspects of our offense without trying to put the whole thing on the kid right now, and understand that we have a veteran offensive line and some pretty good running backs that he doesn't have to, go out there and win a game for us. He's just got to manage the flow,
Okay. From conversations with some of our kids and some of your players this past week, Micah had, I think, some pins put in his elbow. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. Yep. He's got a plate and a couple screws holding the elbow together.
We were talking briefly that you may think that there's a potential for a playoff run when a guy's got two screws and a plate. Okay. So that's coach's wishes rather than real medical.
Yeah. I mean, nothing has been ruled out. He's going to get it checked out. And regardless, that plate can sometimes be a permanent thing in the elbow. So it may never come out. So it may never come out. There we go. Sorry, I went into low power mode there for a minute. Yeah. But we're hoping that something can happen for him. The kid can get some games back here at the end of the year.
Okay. Well, you had obviously 5-0. The real, and I'm not saying the real season hasn't been here. You've had some good games, but the real competitive season begins Friday. You're on the road.
Yeah.
At Goodrich.
Yep.
4-1. Talk a little bit about the game, and then Tom Allward has been, I think, at Goodrich is it over 30 years. He's
been there a long time. Yeah, he's been there a long time. So, obviously, we had that duel with Lake Fenton earlier in the year, week 3, and then we've kind of circled this stretch now where we go from Goodrich to Corunna to the league championship game, in week 6, 7, and 8 in a row. Not the league championship game, but the league crossover game. Whoever punches their ticket, not putting the cart before the horse. So Goodrich game is always a fun one. It's always physical. It's always a battle. Tom's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best guys, in this business. I think the world of Tom. Got a ton of respect for him and the way he runs the program, and his kids play the game the right way. So it's going to be a challenge. They're very well coached. They're very disciplined. They're a whole different team than they were last year. They were 3-by-1 and 2-by-2 spread offense and throwing the ball all over the place. And, I think we played them last year and they threw the ball 80 times and maybe ran it 10 times. And this year that's just the opposite. They want to be about a 85% smash mouth football team and hit you with the play action. And they've got some backs that run hard and a good line. And like I said, a very disciplined defense. So it's always going to be tough when you play Goodrich. And we hope that they feel the same way about us, that it's going to be tough when you play Brandon.
If you got a few wrinkles that you've been developing since week 1 that Goodrich hasn't seen on film?
I mean, probably. I'm sure they do too. There's always a few things we hold back for each other. I'm sure that, that we'll have waiting for each other. But, it's just, making ourselves the best version of us that we can be. And they're doing the same thing over there.
What do you got to do to beat them?
We got to just play our game. We got to execute. And I'm sure they would tell you the same thing. We play for a big milk jug trophy that that Cook's Dairy Farm donated, and it's got all the years of all the games and who won each year on it. And it's a lot of fun. And we pass that thing back and forth. And we've been fortunate enough to have it with us more times than not. And I know that their kids are very hungry to get that jug back. And that's what we've been talking about all week is, we want to keep that jug in Brandon and in my office. And, but it's going to be a great high school football game.
Let me back up and not use the language, but specifically offensively. What do you have to do without using cliche in terms of, do you have to run the ball well? Do you have to pass the ball well, balance it well?
It has to be a balanced attack. We have to be able to run our offense the way it's designed to be run and be able to run and throw, with a level of comfort.
If they stop the run, do you have enough of a passing game with a freshman to offset it?
We're going to have to.
Okay.
Simple as that. Yeah.
So, okay. That's not the answer to the question, but I'll move on. I'll move on from there. Defensively, are they fast?
I think they play with a good amount of speed on defense, and they're very disciplined. They don't overrun their gaps. They don't fly upfield. They don't give the edge to you without making you work for it. They're gonna be in coverage where they're supposed to be. They're not a team that makes a lot of mistakes.
They're well coached.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, Tom's a great ambassador to this game, and he's been at it a long time, and he's forgotten more football than a lot of guys know. So
I should point out that he's a former high school All-American from Bendel, went to Nebraska, was an All-American, I believe played 9 years in the NFL or 10, quite a few.
Yeah, I think isn't he one of the founding members of that Buccaneers team? I believe so.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
John McKay, played for John McKay back in the day.
Yeah.
We used to listen to he and I are about the same age, so we used to listen to all the stories when he'd come back from down there. And there was, check out YouTube if you want to hear about the old Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Long in the early days, it was a sad. Anyway, we digress.
Yeah, so they turned it around. They had those years with they got some wins over there. Yeah.
You more athletic than Bendel? Than Goodrich?
Are we more? That's hard to say. I think we're very different teams. We're trying to do very different things. But this one thing I've noticed this year in our league is every team that lines up's got about 25 players dressed on Friday night, and every team's got 2 or 3 kids that can get after it and go offensively. And every team's got, 2 or 3 guys on defense to match them as a chess piece. They've got a quarterback who's getting more comfortable every week, does a lot of good stuff, rolling out and throwing on the run. They've got 2 very physical backs that they can have a little change of pace with that will both hit the hole very fast. They got a giant offensive lineman that they like to move around and run behind. They've got a pretty skilled tight end who gets after it, running and passing and blocking. And then they've got some edge guys on the outside that if they get the ball in their hands are dangerous. So they're a balance. I mean, they want to run the ball. They want to be a power run team. That's who they are. That's their blueprint right now, but they've got some balance to them and they can hurt you.
Good. Well, listen, hopefully it's a great opportunity. I would think this has got to be the East. Is it the East you're in?
It's just the stars and stripes. It's just cut by enrollment, right? So we're the 6 smaller teams, and the other ones are the 6 upper division, the bigger, higher enrollment teams.
Well, I think this is your division. I think this is the league championship. Corona's a good team, but I don't think they present the problem.
This has been the league championship game, the last couple of years, but our friends at Lake Fenton have put themselves in a position now where they are, they only have a loss to us, and they play Goodrich the week after we do. So I don't want to discount anything that's going on at Lake Fenton because they're playing some great ball up there too.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, listen, best of luck on Friday. We certainly hope the numbers come out the way you want, 6-0. that's a great start, and kind of goes from there. So thanks for your time and best of luck.
All right, buddy.
Talking today with Dylan Dickens of the Brandon football team. Dylan, what position does dude normally have you at?
Slot receiver.
So quarterback is totally out of the question. I know you had to play when Micah got injured in the Clio game, but you did well. As a Wildcat quarterback, do you have any experience throwing the ball?
Last year I was backup quarterback, and then this winter I had shoulder surgery, so I haven't been able to throw since that. But
It goes down with that elbow injury, obviously, close to the end of the second quarter, if I'm not mistaken. What's going through your mind when Zub asks you to step up?
I just know that I just have to be that dude, because when you're out there on the football field, you don't really have a second chance. So I just knew I had to do it for my team.
Do you guys think you can salvage your passing game, though? I mean, I know your run game is great, but against teams like Goodrich and Corona, you're not going to last against those defenses. Do you think your freshman quarterback, Lance, has the ability to throw that long ball, or are you just going to have to stick to shorter passes?
I definitely think he has the ability to do so. He just needs to get comfortable back there and just trust himself and trust his receivers out there.
And so how far do you guys think you'll end up going without Micah now?
I feel like the sky's the limit, really. As far as we want to go as a team, we definitely can go. But with Micah back, it'd be even farther.
And do you know if he can come back within the next 2 or 3 weeks?
I think the timeline's looking pretty good for his comeback. So
well, that's good. Do you have any plans playing college? Anybody looking at you right now?
I have a few colleges look at me, but I don't know if I'd really enjoy going and playing college ball.
Right, it's a big decision.
Yeah.
Well, Dylan, thank you for your time, man, and good luck Friday against Goodrich. Appreciate
Thank you.
And we're your 2014 Spring Break host. Woo!
Hi, I'm here with Roxanne Marlowe, another young musician going to be playing in the Brandon Township Talent Show for September Fest.
To consider becoming a member of the Ortonville Community Historical Society.
Welcome everyone to Brandon High School's second annual Mr. Blackhawk pageant.
Mallory Moore. She's a senior and she runs on our varsity cross country team for Brandon School. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I'm good. How long have you been running cross country?
I've been running cross country since 7th grade.
Wow. And have you been running before this or did you just pick up the sport?
I just picked up the sport. I was interested in it once I went to middle school, so I just decided to join.
Wow. Have you run anything else besides cross country, like track, or participated in races?
Yeah, so I've run track since 7th grade too, and I've also done some local 5Ks and stuff in between all of that.
Wow. So every time I've talked to your coach, you have placed in the top 3 of all of our Brandon runners. What's your best time of this season?
My best time this season is a 21:44 for a 5K.
And do you have any goal times that you want to get down to?
I would like to get under 20 again. I was able to do that my sophomore year, so I'm looking to try and get back to that too.
Wow. And is that, just for anybody who's not aware, is that a qualifying time, or what would be a qualifying time compared to that?
Yeah, so that would be a very competitive time for our region. It usually depends on the race day and everything, but that would be a really competitive time for our region, just based on the qualifying race.
Wow. How did you do at your last meet that you guys just had?
I actually won the race. It was a very, very muddy race, but it was a lot of fun, and I was happy to win.
Wow. Well, congratulations and good luck on your next race.
Thank you.
go. Good work, you guys. Stick together. Turn and kick, ladies. Recover on the downhill, okay? Let's go. Let's go. Recover. Let's go, Stella. Turn and kick. Turn and kick. Recover on the
boys varsity soccer team. Aiden, first off, congrats on a 7-0 win last night against Corunna. You finished with 1 goal and 4 assists. It really seems like you're one of the guys that the team looks to make something happen.
Yeah, definitely.
So you've been playing with the same group of guys for over 6 years now. How does playing with the same group of guys compare to playing against a couple months with guys in a club?
It's a little different. It's a lot different, actually. Some of the kids are a little inexperienced, like, to compare like what I'm playing with. But it's a lot of fun, and I get to play with all my friends, and I enjoy doing it. They help me out a lot. It's better chemistry, honestly, than playing with the club team. It's not as serious, and I have a lot of fun doing it.
Would you describe yourself as more of a pass-first or shoot-first player?
Definitely a pass-first player. I record more assists than goals, actually. So, yeah, I love to pass the ball to my teammates, and I enjoy them scoring.
Aiden, you've been a top player in the Flint Metro League since you've been starting on varsity as a sophomore. We've obviously expected you to be ranked high again at the end of this season. Does the pressure ever build up when you're expected to deliver so much?
It does, depending on who we play. If it's against like Fenton or something like that, you know, I gotta try my best out there, and I feel a little bit of pressure, but my teammates are always there to help me out, and I love that. So yeah.
How far do you think you guys go this year?
I'm thinking we go to regionals this year. I'm thinking we upset Fenton in the district finals this year. I think we take it that far.
Do you plan on playing in college? Are there anybody that's looking at you right now, or are you waiting until the end of the season to decide?
I'm waiting to the end of the season to decide. I've gotten a few looks from a few different schools on my account, and we'll just take it from there. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully I go to a nice school that I like, and I enjoy like doing what I do there.
Well, Aiden, appreciate your time, and good luck against your game against Swartz Creek this Wednesday.
Thank you.
with Joey Nichols, a varsity tennis player on the Brandon varsity tennis team. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good. So your last match, you actually went into overtime and won. It was an outstanding win. How did you find the strength to win after playing for so long?
Well, really, I just took a deep breath, and I was pretty aggravated after the first set, so I took a deep breath and I just kind of focused on the game and nothing else.
Well, you had to play for a long time, so you had to have built up stamina. How long have you been playing tennis?
About 4 years, I'd say.
And do you just play on the school team, or do you do any outside play?
I only play for the schools right now, but when I turn 18, I do plan to play outside of school tournaments.
Are you planning on taking it into college, or just like club?
I would love to do it in college, but I don't see myself doing it academically, so probably just club.
Club? Good luck on your next match.
Thank you.
We want to thank Brad Zuby, the Brandon High School football coach, for stopping in and talking a little bit about the upcoming game against Goodrich, and all the athletes who spent some time with the program, and all those reporters who worked hard behind the scenes. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll be back next week with hopefully Brandon's victory over Goodrich in football. And until then, have a good week.